Everyone back here has been a partner with us. So HUD, Brand New Day, all the agencies back here, HMFA, they've all partnered with us, and we've collaborated on a collective basis over the last year and a half to make sure that all these resources come to you. So the mortgage companies are waiting to hear from you as to what you truly can afford. Brand New Day will help you go through a budget. If you don't know how to put your own budget together, all the credit counseling agencies can start with helping you put together a budget. You need to understand what your income is, true income, what your true expenses are, and what part of those expenses are housing expenses, what you can afford to pay for housing. And the first thing on the expense list should be housing. The second thing on that expense list should be transportation to and from work. And all the discretionary stuff that's on your expense, you're going to have to look at what you truly need and what you can do without so you can make that mortgage payment. Because having a roof over your head and over your children's head is paramount. That's what we really want to strive to make sure happens. So as you go through the budget process, you've got to look very closely at what in your budget you can afford to do without, what's discretionary and you can afford to do without it. And we'll work with you if you're able to do that, and we're able to look at the resources and see how we can modify or restructure your loan. If you're in forbearance, though, you either have to get a modification or a restructuring, or you're going to have to talk to the mortgage company about a deed in lieu of foreclosure or a short sale so that you can at least try to save some of your credit. Because the worst thing to do is have your home foreclosed on, have your credit rating go down, and now you're going to have to try to rent, and someone's going to look at your credit report and not even allow you to rent. So you don't want to make the situation worse by allowing your credit to go completely down. You want to try to keep your credit up as high as possible so that if you know you have to go to rent, you can still qualify even for renting. Because a lot of landlords will run your credit report, so you need to know that. Loan restructurings and modifications are not that hard to do, but you have to be willing to take a harder look at your budgets. So I can't emphasize that enough. You have to truly be willing to look at it and look at those discretionary items and cut them out. And focus on making your payments consistently, month after month, so that you're current. Again, the first step is to make sure you make that phone call. If you have letters at home, if you're delinquent, there is no reason to be embarrassed. We've been all over the state. I've been in Jersey City, I've been in Newark a few times, I've been in Franklin, I've been in Berkeley Heights, I've been down in Camden, Trenton, Asbury Park, Atlantic City. I've been all over the state. And the problem is not only bad in New Jersey, it's bad throughout the whole country. So you need to know that nationally, there are millions of people going through this situation right now. What we're trying to do in New Jersey is help you stay in your home so that you don't become a foreclosure statistic. And we believe we can do that. We've got a number of nonprofits that actually have funding capabilities so they can actually lend you money if the circumstances are right to get you out of a desperate situation. When you miss a payment on a credit card, your credit score only goes down by a little bit. When you miss a payment on your mortgage, your credit score goes down a lot. It goes down 50 to 100 points if you miss your mortgage payment. So it drops dramatically when you miss a mortgage payment. The key is to call that mortgage company up, work out some terms and some arrangements, and ask them not to deteriorate your credit score any worse than it is. You can talk to them. If you do a modification, they can then not hit your credit score every month because the modification will be different than your original terms and conditions. So you have to make sure you specify that when you're talking with the servicer or your mortgage company, that you don't want your credit affected if they modify the loan. That you want your credit to show that you've modified it, but that you're making payments as agreed. And there your score won't deteriorate. And each month that you stay consistent on that mortgage payment, your credit score will start to inch back up. It will probably take 6 months to get it back to where it originally was, but you can do it. So you have to consistently, over a 6-month period, stay current on that mortgage payment. You do a deed in lieu for sale. What a deed in lieu for sale is, instead of having your home foreclosed on, you turn the deed over to the bank so they can sell the property. But when the property sells, you do have a tax consequence, a federal IRS tax of whatever the difference is that they get for that house. So if they sell the house and they get a couple $100,000 for the home, you're going to have a tax consequence that represents what they sold it for, because that's what they forgave in the way of a loan. So if they forgive $100,000, you're going to have a tax consequence of $100,000. If they forgive $200,000, you're going to pay taxes as if you received $200,000.